What's up, guys? Cedo Cards here with another video. As usual, guys, I want to say thank you so much for the support. It has been amazing. Secondly, while we are here and before we get into the topic of the video, I wanted to just discuss the TCG, the Riftbound Discord. If you are in the UK, if you are from the UK. So we have about 100 members strong at the moment, 105, and we have just closed out a giveaway for a booster box. So I ended up doing a giveaway just to say thank you for all the kind people that joined. If it wasn't for this Discord, I wouldn't have been able to get as much stock as I do now. It's a bit selfish, the reason why I created the Discord. One, to create a community, of course, just to get people that are playing Riftbound to come together. We are mostly League fans. There are people from Arcane and other TCGs, but it was ultimately just to kind of get League people together, and also, people share stock. And one useful thing is that we do share stock from vendors. It's selling, Riftbound is selling out so quickly, and people in the Discord have been able to get more stock because of this. We've got a vendor here called Right Cards. He's let us know that he should be getting a few cases soon. He's 7th of November, and of course you've got guys already reserving theirs, or at least requesting. So this is helping people in the UK get stock. And I've done a few giveaways in this so far. I've done the Project K trial deck legend cards. So in Chinese, I did open a bunch of them. I did give away the Leona, overnumbered Leona in Chinese. I opened that at one point in the pack. I did also give away the Jinx Project K trial deck. Again, just a way to give out these products to the wider community. These didn't cost me too much. I bought these ages ago when the price was a lot cheaper. So again, just to kind of rally up the community, give something for people to be interested in the community as we slowly start to grow the scene. So guys, if you are in the UK, check us out. The link will be in the description. It's a great place just to get together and talk about League of Legends, and also try to buy what we can. So anyway, today's topic is about the question that we hear all the time: are we in a bubble for the TCG? Now I'll get to that, but before that, just a bit of market movement and market analysis. We are seeing continued climb in pricing. We are losing that sort of 200 floor. In fact, the last time we had a conversation, really, it was about 190. That was the floor, at least in the US. We are seeing 250. We are seeing that 200 disappear. Seeing 270 for a booster box. And of course, I'm in the UK, so I don't feel that this is in Australia, but I'm in the UK. I don't feel the pain point as much as those in the US. It seems in the US the demand is even higher, and so we are seeing an acceleration in the US far greater than the UK. I say that, but the UK is still looking at pretty crazy prices, which I'll show shortly. 250 here, 250, 270. 250. So we are seeing, before, only a few days ago, we were seeing, consistent 200, 180, and now we are seeing more or less 250 being the floor. 230 here, 267 here, and that's it's good. I think ultimately, I used to think maybe it wasn't so bad, maybe it wasn't too great. I think it's good. It lets Riot Games know that there's heavy demand for this. Obviously, it sucks if you want more stock. Again, I've opened a ton. And then I bought stock for a rainy day. I opened a ton, and I'm just sitting on them because I don't really feel the need to open more packs at the moment. And they're sitting away for a rainy day, so I have supply, so I'm not too worried. So I'm not stressed. I'm not pressured with it in this scenario. But others are pressured, and they're spending 250 on a booster box when reprints are coming. This will be reprinted for a very long time, but people are really itching to play it now. Either that, or people are looking at it as an investment. And again, we'll have this whole TCG bubble space as a conversation about investments, about storing your money away in collectibles, and whether that's a good idea. Personally, I think it's a fine idea, and we'll get into that. I think there's always a major room for nuance in this conversation that I think is lacking in most conversations about this. So yeah, TCG player, we are seeing, roughly 280. I don't trust TCG player as much so just yet, just because of how few there are on the market. So we are seeing roughly 240, 230 is kind of the average at the moment. We have really hit a new floor, and I expect that price to only rise. And looking at the UK, UK is having a climb up as well. I did mention before, 160 used to be the floor, is climbing up, 170, 180, 180, 180, 170, 180. This is from Italy, so slightly different, 240, but we are seeing that increase as well from the floor being 160, 150. So again, prices are going up, and yeah, 190 as of yesterday. Well, I'm recording this on the 10th, around 10 p.m. 190 on the 10th today, and yeah, prices are going up. And then we have the booster box cases. Again, we are seeing similar prices, 1.7k, which is pretty crazy. That's almost 3x if you had bought it for roughly, there were vendors selling it at 100, at least in the UK, £100 a box. You can get a case of 600. I imagine very similar things in the US as well. Again, we are seeing consistently high prices for this premium to have it in a box. I only expect that to increase, even with subsequent reprints. Again, 1.7k, things are ramping up. And again, TCG player, again, let me just remove that. I don't really trust TCG player as much at the moment. And then again, worlds. I'll keep the sealed just to this. I don't really want to discuss sealed too much today, but just a bit of price discussion. Again, sealed Riftbound worlds. We saw last time that the floor had been creeping up from 200. Before we might see 180, 190, and 200 was the general floor. And then we saw a creep up to about 210, 220. We are now seeing that floor kind of hit 230 in the last few days. We've seen 230 here, 225 here, 250, 240, 220, 230, 220 US in Portugal, 260, 250. So again, as we have been discussing over the last few videos, we're seeing that slow increase and that slow push up on the floor from 200 to 210. You don't really see 210 anymore. We're seeing 220, 230. Really, I would honestly say that the floor now is 230. You'll see a few other people here and there throw it in at 220 just to get a quick sale, because they know that it will be eaten up. It's like, for example, Pokemon. If you throw in a really sought out after Pokemon box that is usually at 1,000, if I throw it in at 700, someone's going to buy it because one, either they want to hold it for themselves, or they want to open it, or they know that they can resell it at a higher price later because of the difference already, the delta already in what it normally goes for and what you're buying it for. So again, 250 to 260, we are seeing a drastic push up, but we can really consider the floor as 230, and then this random one that shows up at October 29th. But anyways, the last few days of November, we are seeing 230 as that new floor. So again, just want to track. I think I like to discuss the floor rather than the ceiling of these items, just because we will constantly see those higher prices, but it's always the floor that fascinates me in terms of the appetite for the customer and what they're willing to pay as a baseline, which just it indicates the strength of the item. So yeah, especially for what it is being just a playmat, one Teemo card, and then some Battlefield items. Anyway, so I wanted to discuss today the concept of the TCG space being in a bubble, and I hear this all the time, and I thought I would give my 2 pence on this. And this will not be just this won't be a one-off video. I will make this into episodes, and that will probably be part of the title, in that this will be episode 1 of the conversation. And I think the best thing to do as a first episode is just look at current observations in the TCG space, and not just TCG space, I think macroeconomics as a whole, because I think what we are seeing at the moment, and at least what we are observing, is that assets are at an all-time high. We see the stock market across the world at all-time highs. We see housing prices accelerating. Gold is at an all-time high. Crypto is at an all-time high. And we are, of course, seeing the TCG space at an all-time high. And so that is the observation we are seeing. That is, the matter at hand. Then the question is, why is this the case? And this is, of course, left to multiple thoughts, multiple interpretations, multiple inputs on this issue. Personally, my opinion is effectively the rapidly growing wealth of the extremely rich and extremely wealthy. Now, I'm not one to hold much of an opinion on people. I take everyone at face value, and for want of a better word, I do not judge. But what we are seeing is a growing wealth for those at the very top. And okay, Cito, growing wealth at the top, why does it matter? This box is $200. $200 is peanuts in the grand scheme of things. But if we take it to the idea that what we are seeing is an acceleration in the price of assets, we do see, of course, that the TCG space is being pulled up with it. And I guess the conversation is to be had for that is how are these prices at an all-time high? And I think the easiest example to ease us into this conversation, again, this is episode 1, and obviously this is a topic that confounds economists all over the world, is housing. The easiest way to look at the issue is around housing, and we see worldwide this issue that house prices are exceedingly increasing in price. It's exceedingly hard to get a house, to get a mortgage. But what we are seeing is this increase in house prices. And how does that increase in house prices happen? Take me, for example. I want to buy a house for £200,000. There will be people that are extremely wealthy who are able to then place a bid for $220,000. One, they want the item, the house, and two, they have the money to outbid me. So they've outbid me to 220. Maybe I can match 220. That's nothing. It's not the hardest, but they can continue to outbid. So what we are seeing the regular family get outbid slowly over time, to the point now that these property prices worldwide are skyrocketing, because effectively, if you are someone extremely wealthy in let's say the numbers of 100 million a year, dollars or pounds, conservatively, you will get a passive income of roughly, let's say, 5% of your wealth. Wealth being your houses, your properties, any businesses. And again, I'm not here to knock anything. We all aspire to have enough wealth to take care of our family, to maintain a good quality of life, and to enjoy things in life that have come from the fruit of our labor. But let's say, for example, 5% of our wealth, let's say 100 million, that's 5 million a year, conservatively, from our passive income, which means just the income generated from wealth, maybe not future profits or things like that. Let's just say just from our wealth alone. So we're looking at 5 million a year. If we break that down, let's say that's about 375, 100,000 a month. With that money, you will not, a wealthy person will not spend that money on just and nonsense. They will have fun, but they will ultimately put that money back into an asset. Why would they do that? One, they know the price. They know that fundamentally money has no ground in today. Now that it is no longer tied to gold. Ultimately, money is not just a matter of trust, but fundamentally it is just a trust me bro dynamic. Of course, it's there's a maintenance of this trust me bro dynamic, but ultimately it is just that. And those that are wealthy know that it is not wise to leave money in that scenario where actually you can put your money into actual assets that people want and people value. And not only that, things that will actually increase your money. So that's assets, that's stocks, that's housing, that is that's crypto, that is now TCGs. And of course, I say all that, and we can have this conversation here. We can look at this. This is from a Pokedean. He's a UK YouTuber that does Pokemon videos. He owns a Pokemon store, and he was in the US at one of America's large card shows, and we see this vendor who is actually strapped to the gills with rare Pokemon items. And if I just press play for a bit, and you should be able to, oh sorry, I'm not actually sharing my screen. If I press play, you should see just an exorbitant amount of Pokemon products that are extremely rare. Those that know, these are 1990s, early 2000s. And I'm just gonna stop talking while it plays.
Look at this. Imagine just owning and just like loads and loads of XY flash fire. Look at this. Imagine just owning this right here. What's that? 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 Team Rocket first ed boxes. We've got Fossil right here. Jungle first ed. EX Sandstorm. We opened that last year actually. That was a lot of fun. We've got more base set right here. More Team Rocket. Like, this is insane.
Yeah. So what we are seeing here. These first ed base, we're looking at, depending on if they are the first, the shadowless first print. These are about 300,000 each, and I know the vendor behind has a number of those. So we could be looking ultimately, and he has said that he normally comes to card shows with about 10 million in stock, just because he's one of the very high, he's one of the vendors that holds a lot in Pokemon. And what we're seeing effectively in that scenario, the price, there are people in the higher spaces with a lot of money that are entering into Pokemon. Of course, that's one example, but there are silent people in the space as well that actually don't showcase what they have. But effectively, what we are seeing are these people, with their passive income that is constantly generating more and more, coming into these spaces to store their money in somewhere not safer, but somewhere where effectively it will beat inflation as the price of worth of money, the value of money goes down. And as I mentioned in the example of housing, this is now driving the total value or fiat currency price of these boxes up. And ultimately this is now feeding into TCGs. Of course, we've seen it in stocks, all-time highs. Even though the quality of living for the regular person is quite bad, we are seeing that that stocks are at an all-time high. We are seeing that gold is at an all-time high. Other items and other assets are at all-time highs. Again, while the quality of life for some seems to be deteriorating, groceries are through the roof. If you want to use Uber Eats, it's £25 for a meal. Wholesale prices for groceries are going through the roof as well. So now we are, facing the brunt of it. So with that, again, it's feeding back to the TCG space, because of course the TCG space now is experiencing that influx of capital that has, such deep wallets that they don't really care about the price. If they see it at 300 and someone has advised them it's a good buy, that happens. Now, that's one reason, personally, that I wanted to discuss about today, on why I don't think we are in a bubble. I don't think this issue is a bubble, personally, and it's taken me 20 minutes to say that, but I don't think we're in a bubble. Yes, we are seeing accelerating prices, but if you are asking about the fundamental reason as to why those prices are rising, and if it will pop by virtue of purely just the TCG space as an item or as a construct, then no, we're not in the bubble, and this isn't going anywhere anytime soon. And that's for better or for worse. For better, yes, you can make a lot of money in this space, and you can earn enough to take care of your family and stress less. Worse, because the fundamental cause with the growing wealth of the extremely wealthy, while the lower end of society deteriorates more and more, continues to accelerate, which means that eventually things will get worse for the bottom person. It's already almost impossible to get housing for most people. It's increasingly hard to pay your bills, to pay electricity, to pay gas. But hey, the TCG space is going up, and crypto's going up, and stocks and shares are going up. So it's a hard one to discuss. And again, this is ultimately my opinion. This is how I'm seeing it. Some economists say this, some economists say that, some economists say what I'm saying. So it's really who you look at. I'm not really here to discuss solutions. I'm just here to discuss my observations. And yeah, again, this is episode 1 of this topic. There will be more to discuss regarding this. But that's personally why I see. And again, this will be super open-ended. I can't close this out in one video. I'm probably gonna get loads of comments, some bashing me, others really having more questions. And if you have questions, please throw it in. I'll say what I can. Again, it's all my opinion, but I'll at least throw my 2 cents or 2 pence into this. But you know, we see it more so in Pokemon. We see it more so in One Piece, for example. You know, prices. You know, items are going 2, 3, 4x. And again, we'll discuss in another video the psychology around the idea that we are all working from home, we are all a bit more isolated, the internet has made us more unique and more individualistic, and so we are now clinging and climbing onto things that make us feel good, you know, on an individualistic level, and that involves holding a pretty box of cardboard, you know, holding a pretty, you know, box, and knowing that inside there could be a bit of happiness for some people. So I will discuss that next time. I'll make a note for episode 2 to discuss the psychology of why 2 things. So of course we've discussed one axis in terms of why the prices are increasing, and you know, that's seen extremely in Pokemon, you know, where things are really skyrocketing 2, 3, 4x. And this isn't purely just a case of people wanting to hold their nostalgic items. People are literally spending 50, 60, 70k on boxes. Those boxes we saw here, these are worth, again, you know, 50, 60, 70, 80. There are loads. He is holding millions in front of us right now. There are people with deep wallets, but there are, you know, other people really, you know, looking to spend a lot. And, you know, again, this is just one axis. I will discuss next episode the psychology to it, and to why the average person is willing to pay that bit more for that item, where in the past, you know, maybe they would have paid $100. Now if it's listed at $200, they're willing to throw that capital in just to feel something. And that'll be a topic for another day. This was a very scrambled conversation, one, because it's such a complex topic, and I did want to just focus on this one axis and try to avoid thoughts that were coming in about other avenues. Ultimately, because if I were to focus on some of the conversation that were coming into my head, you know, you end up going in tangents and you never really discuss your point. People have other things to say. Maybe it's you know, maybe they need to tax the working person more. Maybe they want to say it's immigration. Maybe they want to say it is the welfare state. We need to get rid of the welfare state. Stop spending so much on the welfare state and the government. My 2 cents is that we are seeing this accumulation by the very wealthy of items, stocks, gold, property, other resources, and that is now essentially bringing up the overall floor of assets, and TCGs are an asset ultimately. And so we are seeing this here as well. Anyway, like I said, next video I'll discuss the psychology of it. You know, this may not come for another few weeks. I'll discuss it, you know, every now and then. It's not a main topic of mine, but I do believe we are not in a bubble, and you know, the underlying macroeconomics of this is sad, but we will see, as a consequence of that, asset prices continue to skyrocket. We will keep seeing the floor of the world's bundle creep up and up and up. Again, this is just one axis. We'll keep discussing the other axes, but we will see, you know, the floor of these items keep building and building, and people will be happy that their prices, that their you know, their stocks are going up and their boxes are going up, but on a day-to-day, life will continue to get more difficult. Groceries will go up, you know, your bills will go up, and but hey, your box is at the moon, you know, for example. So anyway, that's about it for now. That's episode 1 done. The first axis, just to end it, was the influx of money coming in from other spaces. Let's just say that, and I see that from the growing wealth we are seeing from those at the very top. And again, it was quite hard to discuss this. It's such a larger piece, but hey, I just play TCGs. I don't really play them. I've played League of Legends for years. I'm in the TCG space. What do I know? I'm not an economist. I'm just pointing out my 2 cents. Next episode is the psychology. Let me stop there because I'm rambling. Like, comment, subscribe. Stay safe. Stay warm. Tell your family you love them. And yeah, catch you guys soon. Cheers.